Hi, our Savior. A few weeks or a month ago, when I envisioned making this announcement, I thought it would be fun, joyful, hopeful, and honestly, it's turned out much differently. In a minute, I'm going to tell you about our plans for worship over the next few weeks, but before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about what a church is. Vince Lombardi famously wants to start a season with the Green Bay Packers, held up a football and said, "Gentlemen, this is a football." We're a church. The church is not a building or club or a provider of religious services. The church is a family formed by God. We're a group of people who were once alienated from Him, and now we are called His sons and His daughters. And we throw that word family around a lot, but for good reason. But let's not let its frequency of use diminish its power. We don't come together because we like the same kind of music, or we have the same hobbies, or we vote the same way. We gather because we are a family. Over the next few weeks, we're going to transition back to gathering together, but it's not because of politics or to exercise our rights. We're going to gather together because we have been given to one another, and according to the plan of God, we need one another. Christians are a gathering people. We gather under what is behind me here at the front of our sanctuary, a cross. The cross reminds us that we gather not for force or defiance. We gather because of love. We love because God first loved us. He gave Himself to us and for us. A month ago, when I started to think about what it would be like to call us back, I envisioned a triumphant celebration. Now I know that we need to come together because we need one another. Our world is broken, and we need each other to be reminded of hope. Since the last time we met in our sanctuary, over 100,000 Americans have died from COVID-19. Countless more have been hospitalized, suffered from this virus. Our economy, people's livelihoods, their businesses have suffered significant loss. More people are dying every day, and people are still losing work. And then a little over a week ago, we saw a video of a police officer kneeling on a man's neck for almost 9 minutes. As he asked for help, for air, and for his mother. The killing of George Floyd was sickening. And now people all over the country are showing the pain that they have lived with for decades and centuries. We stopped meeting together because of a crisis. We will start meeting together in the middle of two crises. We need each other. And we will meet again because of love. We are coming together to seek God, to listen to Him, and to together cry out for His mercy on our land. Our elders met Tuesday night to discuss the possibility of reopening. Thank you for your prayers, first of all. We felt them. Based on the most recent Illinois Department of Public Health guidelines for houses of worship, we have decided to transition back to in-person meetings beginning this Sunday with an outdoor service, and as far as we can plan right now, continuing into the month of June with indoor services starting on the weekend of June 13th and 14th. I give those dates of both Saturday and Sunday because we will offer 2 services. Based on the congregational survey and the results that we took a couple of weeks ago, and in compliance with the guidelines offered by our state, we will need at least 2 services to allow everyone who desires to come back to be in the room that I'm in right now together. So this Sunday, we're going to have 1 service at 9:30 a.m. in our church parking lot. As of this recording, the weather looks excellent. You'll have the option of bringing your own lawn chair and sitting outside, or you can remain in your vehicle. The service will have live audio, and it will be broadcast over FM radio. We'll direct you where to park when you get here on Sunday morning, depending whether you want to stay in your car or come forward with a chair. As before, we're asking you to remain 6 feet or more away from anyone who's not a member of your immediate family. For those that don't wish to gather in that way, the service will also be live streamed at live.osefc.org. Then starting on June 13th and 14th, we will have a service at 5 p.m. on Saturday and 9:30 a.m. on Sunday. Due to the seating capacity of our sanctuary, we can accommodate about 50 people in our pews with adequate social distancing. You'll need to register for the service you would like to attend. Registration will open sometime on Wednesday, June 10th. And what we're asking is as many of you who will to commit to coming at least occasionally on Saturday nights. Our survey showed that most of us would prefer to stay on Sunday morning. Would you help us, and would you bless your fellow church members by giving up your preference so that more people could join us for worship? That would be an excellent example of the love of Christ in this time. You'll be able to register just by going to our homepage, or you can go directly to osefc.org/register. I know there are a lot of different feelings about how close we should be when we get back together, or whether or not we should do things like wear masks. I've been thinking a lot about Romans 15, verses 2 and 3 the last few days. They say, "Let each of us please his neighbor for his good, to build him up. For Christ did not please himself, but as it is written, the reproaches of those who reproached you fell on me." There are many different opinions, but what we want to do is focus and make our goal loving one another well. The example that Jesus set before us and the life that he calls us to as his followers are to serve others and to think of them first. Because that's the kind of Savior we have, and the kind of way he made serving us, giving himself for us. We want to do things that will first build each other up. Right now, and in our worship services, part of building each other up is keeping each other safe and doing things that are a blessing to one another. Therefore, we're going to ask you to bring your own mask and wear it the entire time you are in the building. We're going to figure out a system for helping you to know where are good places to sit in the sanctuary, and there'll be appropriate distance between you and others. Our services are going to look very similar to the stream that you've been watching each week. It's going to be singing, praying, and preaching, but they will be shorter than they usually are in person, about 50 minutes or so. Once the service ends, we're going to ask people not to congregate in the sanctuary or in our narthex. I'm so glad it's summer. We can go outside, you can gather in the parking lot, you can gather in our front lawn. Please stay and visit together outside. We believe that's a safe option for you. All of our services will continue to be live streamed on Sundays at 9:30 a.m. In fact, we've invested in technology to make our streaming better as some of us come back together in person and others of us stay home. I want you to know If you feel like it's best for you not to come, you will be missed. But not only do we understand, we're grateful that you've made that decision. It's a strong decision and choice for yourself. Please do what makes you most comfortable and is safest for you as an individual. Folks, family, these things are fluid. Plans change. Our plans have changed dozens of times throughout the pandemic time. The best place to keep up with all the changes, to see our latest updates, is by going to oscfc.org/COVID-19. There'll be a link on that from our homepage. Please keep praying for the staff and elders and our other leaders. And I want to thank you for being flexible. You've been so flexible during this time, and it's been such a blessing. We're going to need you to keep being that way. As our elders talked about these things, we felt at first overwhelmed. There are just so many things to consider, but then God brought us peace. We're doing the best we can. If we have to change these plans, we will. We'll be open to that. We ask you to do the same, and we'll communicate them in as many ways as we possibly can to you. So please watch your email, sign up for our text chain, go to our website if you have questions. I love being your pastor. I speak for all the elders when I say we love being your elders. I love this church, you, our church. I miss you. I'm excited to be together. As I said before, my heart is also heavy. So let's come together. Those of us that wish to, outside this coming Sunday, we're going to spend some time during our worship service lamenting the brokenness of our world and crying out for the hope and salvation of God. And then we're going to praise his name because he is worthy of praise. May Jesus be our peace. And may he continue to bless us, his church, our Savior Evangelical Free Church. I love you. See you soon.